water help better?
No.
Unless you got some bread or something.
Welcome to Covenant's version of Hot Ones, the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. I'm Minister James Vinson, and Pastor Jabulani McCalister and I are in the hot seat today. I'm going to ask him a few questions so we can all learn more about him, and we'll see if we can defeat the wings of death.
Dun, dun, dun.
How are you with spicy stuff, Pastor?
Well, when I was younger, I was great. Now that I'm older, not so much.
I can tell you the smell of these already.
Yes,
is feeling it.
I can smell the heat.
But let's take our first bite and dive in with our first sauce here, which is Señor Lechuga. Here we are.
I need the vegan wings, by the way, because I don't eat meat.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
That's why we don't do
Minister James actually can really cook.
I'm not bad. Not too bad. All right, so first, Pastor, you've been pastor here at Covenant for 6 years now?
6 years.
6 years. But we know that that is just the latest stop in your journey.
Yes.
So I want to take you all the way back to your junior year of college when you began your faith journey. What happened at that time that stands out to you that led you down this road to become Pastor Jabulani McCalister?
So there was a group of peers that I knew then, and they were Christian, and at the time I wasn't. And I had some pretty harsh feelings about the church and pastors and all that. So I never thought I would ever be in anybody's church, let alone all these years later being anybody's pastor. So, but the example that they shared with me and the love they showed with me, it just compelled me to want to know more. And so, they didn't try to force me to believe or beat me over the head with the Bible. Clean my palate again. And it was the first time I saw that Christians could actually have fun. Up to that point, I just saw these, I call them sourpuss Christians.
Right.
They say they love Christ, but then they don't love me. I didn't get that.
Right.
But they did it differently. And so I started visiting their churches, and God led me into relationship, and years later called me into ministry. And 24 years later, here I am, now the pastor of Covenant.
Wow. 24 years.
Yeah.
Well, shall we go for the second wing?
Sure, why not?
This one is called Karma Sauce, so
Okay.
guess it depends on how good you've been.
It's not that hot, but I don't know about that taste.
Yeah, it tastes like that's a little bit.
Just like sawdust.
Right. Well, Pastor, you've said that the greatest challenge the church is facing is that we've lost a true sense of purpose. That is to bring people to Jesus Christ so that He can save their souls.
That's right.
You worry we've become social clubs, more interested in growing our numbers instead of growing disciples of Jesus Christ. So how does the church break free from that temptation to just be a social club and really get to the work of sharing the gospel?
In summary, like Jesus said in Revelation, remember your first love. And that's what helps me, even as an individual, try to remember to stay focused on growing as a disciple, which is a lifelong learner of Jesus Christ, disciple of Christ. And I think that because we have lost our way in terms of setting the tone and the bar high in terms of our morality, in terms of our Christian leadership, our spiritual transformation. We are beginning to follow the world, and we're okay with that. But the scripture tells us that even the elect will be fooled, and so we have to be very careful with that. And so we need to return to our first love, which, as far as I'm concerned, is Jesus Christ, who is the head of the church.
Right, for sure. All right. Well,
You want to clean your palate there?
question 3 already. No, I'm good right now.
Okay. Oh, look at it. Look at these. I'm good. I'm good.
I got it. No.
Right.
All right, let's see. Our third sauce is pickled garlic sriracha.
That's a fun name.
Yeah, so that sounds interesting.
Yeah. Tastes like the second one.
I was gonna say,
This time sawdust though.
yeah, I'm still not quite. I feel like the first one was spicier than any of the
It
next
sure was,
two.
wasn't
The
it?
first one, I was
Okay.
like, oh no, that's the first one. But
Right.
I guess we'll see what we got coming for us.
Right.
Well, Pastor, as you know, before accepting my call, I went to school for broadcasting, which is why getting to do stuff like this is always a lot of fun for me, because I get to put those skills to work. Well, you have a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology from the University of Michigan and a Master of Social Work from Wayne State University, and you worked in that field before going into ministry.
Right.
So what skills and experiences from your days as a social worker have helped you in your ministry?
So before I answer that question, also remember that I'm a voice artist too, because so when I get a chance to do like stuff like this, it's fun. You know, all the years I did acting on that campus of University of Michigan, doing a live soap opera. But
Well, remember, I got 7 more questions, Pastor.
oh, I'm jumping ahead of sorry. Well, and my publicist didn't give me a copy of the question beforehand. So I think that for me, some of the key elements that come from the training and the academic preparation that I've had is coupled with some of my experience as just being, people always tell me when I was younger, you're wise beyond your years. You've been here before, those kinds of things. And so that's why I went and got the training. But I think the listening skills have really helped me to hone in understanding human behavior and human development, and staying on top of that with the continuing education courses has helped me to understand when people that I interact with necessarily, they're not bad people, maybe bad actors. And so that has been a really great lesson using the training and experience over time as well. And so, but I think that having that background coupled with my ministry training has really been helpful over these last couple of decades and 2 churches as a senior pastor.
All right. Well, let's try wing number 4. Chugging right along. This is Elote's Loco Fire.
Okay. That has a little bit more heat.
A little bit. Tastes a little bit better too. A little more taste to it than
Yeah, have to take a
little.
little.
Eat that milk. Well, while you're having your soy milk, you've credited Reverend Dr. James C. Perkins of Greater Christ Baptist Church in Detroit, Michigan, for introducing you to American Baptist life.
Yes.
How has Reverend Dr. Perkins and others in ABC shaped your ministry?
So as you said, my first introduction was with my home church pastor. He recently retired a couple of years ago, but I was the youth pastor at the time, and we were dually aligned with ABC. I had never heard of ABC before. I barely even heard of the denomination we were connected with, other than the other one. And he said, look, Doc, I need you to go over and get with the ABC people and that youth thing. So me and my wife, Pastor Nikita McCalister, went over there, and that was our first introduction. But not until we went to seminary on the East Coast is when we met one of our greater mentors, Reverend Dr. Victor Scalisi, who was like Mr. ABC. And he showed us the whole world of what it would be, all of the different aspects of it, why it's important, the historical presence that they had in terms of social outreach and social justice and all these different things that they had to offer. It was just a wonderful introduction, and now all these years later to be involved in it with just the various programming and mission work, it has just been a blessing.
All right, number 5. Getting into serious territory now. This is the only one I've actually tasted before today. I've actually bought this from the store. It's called Los Calientes Rojo.
Okay, red hot. Let's see how it compares to Durkee red hot. Or Frank's, whatever. Before it was hotter than that. That's like mild.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a 20,000 Scoville unit jump, but nope. Like I said, I've had that one before. I find that one pretty palatable.
Yeah, I got nothing. And it could be our taste buds are numb.
Could be. We could be
that
getting
first
there.
one.
We're halfway through. I feel like we're going to take a huge jump up at some point.
Right.
And we'll be like, oh, there it is.
Right.
Well, before pastoring at Covenant, as you mentioned, you were senior pastor at Calvary Baptist Church in Providence, Rhode Island. And in your book, Hope Beyond Hope, you say that this was a trying time in your response to God's call. Can you explain the struggle of that period and how you found your way out of it?
Well, as you mentioned in my book, Hope Beyond Hope, they can read more about the story, but basically it was the same thing that you mentioned earlier. I think that in a lot of ways I was struggling because I was excited to really do ministry. That's just how I am, because I didn't grow up in church. Once I gave my life to Christ, I wanted to hit the ground running because I'm a doer. I want to do stuff. Right. But what I found is that there were some people who were only interested, like you said, in remaining a social club or just there's a little local small group, and they would say they wanted people to come to be a part of it, but then when they would come, because the people were new and different and didn't look like them or smell like them or whatever, then they would eventually chase them off. And so it was a period where I was really struggling and trying to understand, okay, Lord, what is the point? I want to do ministry. I'm not interested in numbers for numbers' sake. I'm not interested in all of these different trappings that we get caught up in.
Right. Because
I feel like the scripture says, we plant and we water the word and God brings the increase. But if we don't plant and water, then there's not going to be any increase. And
right.
And it's not just the pastor's job to help people grow.
Right.
As a part of the body of Christ, it's all our responsibility. And so, yeah, it was a very tough time for me, because when I first got there, I was excited about it, and they led me to believe that that's what they wanted too. Mm-hmm. And then over time, it didn't end up being that way. And so I really got into serious prayer about it and asked the Lord, okay, so what am I supposed to do here? And, obviously it was time to move on to a different season.
Right.
But I'm grateful for the time period because it made me stronger. I didn't like it. When you're in the middle of your struggle, you don't like it. But looking back on it, I'm beginning to understand what Jesus told Paul when he said, my grace is sufficient. My strength is made powerful. My strength is made powerful in your weakness. So I'm really understanding that a little bit better now.
Okay.
currently got.
Tasted very similar to 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I feel like we'll see.
They setting us up.
It seems good.
We getting hustled here.
I don't know. We'll see. But as you mentioned, after leaving Calvary and coming here to Covenant, it was sort of a homecoming for you, since you started out here in the Metro Detroit area.
Right.
But what was it about Covenant that stood out to you when you saw that job opening? When you saw the search committee seeking, what made you make the decision to return to Michigan?
That's a great question, because there were a number of churches that invited me to candidate, but I just wasn't interested. But I knew I was familiar with Covenant's ministry over the years, because I was friends with my wife and I were friends with the previous First Family, Pastor John Good and his wife Amanda, and they did some great things here. And when we were associate ministers at Greater Christ, where Dr. Perkins was, he would often invite us over and do some different things here and teach and be a part of what they were doing. And so even I think one of the annual meetings was here years ago, and at that time I had done a voiceover for one of the presentations, and so we had a little bit of a history together. And so when I saw it, I was like, wow, because I had heard that the Goods had moved on to do missionary work,
Right.
but I really didn't hear anything else about the ministry. So when I saw it, I was like, really? And I was excited because I feel called to a multicultural ministry like Calvary was. That was one of the reasons why I left, to go there, to pastor there,
Right.
And here. And because I know that when I was here in Michigan, it wasn't as multicultural as it had become 8.5 years later. So
Right.
I was just excited about it. And the more we had discussions about what that would mean, because like the first church at Calvary and this church, I was the first Black pastor in over a century that they have had, and so I didn't know what that would actually look like and what that would mean.
Right.
But that I came across an opportunity to see what that would look like. I was very excited about it because I didn't always have that.
All right. Whew.
You feeling some afterburner heat from some of the other ones?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was 6. That was
that was 6.
Volcano.
Yeah, that was.
This is the Butterfly Bakery
Okay.
hot house sauce.
Shall we?
We shall.
It had a sweet kind of smell to it. I feel like it's gonna sneak up on us.
It didn't taste like it smelled. Like
Right,
you're
right.
like, there's a little more to that than I thought. It's not bad.
Wait a minute. I knew it was gonna sneak up on us. I knew it, but they did that on purpose. Put that little sweetness in there,
Right.
throw you off.
Right. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely rolls in. Why did we do this in August?
Wow.
Well, you weren't at Covenant long before COVID hit, and as we know, COVID flipped our whole world upside down. And while we are well on the other side of that, and we weathered it and made it through, we can still feel its effects. So, in what ways has ministry changed in a post-COVID world for you, for better or for worse?
It's changed for better and worse. I think it changed for the better because, you and I and some of the other young people in the congregation had already been talking about transitioning to digital formats prior to COVID. So when we were blindsided by the world shutting down, that was really helpful for us, and it helped us to really hunker down and a lot of people get closer in their faith. And even the people that were uncomfortable when I first started introducing some of the digital formats, oh, they want to do that. Now even the older ones are like, well, my granddaughter taught me how to work my laptop and my tablet and all this stuff. And so now I think for the worse in terms of it helped some people who were already kind of thinking about being lazy about church anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and their relationship weren't interested in growing, to kind of fall off,
Right.
and kind of ghost and disappear
Mm-hmm.
anyway.
Right.
Because a lot of people were angry with us that we followed the protocols and with the masks and the closures and the phases and things like that. But that worked well for us because it definitely kept us safe and healthy.
Right.
We had minimal outbreaks and things like that. And so, but I think that there's still some hard feelings from those things. And, you know, sometimes that happens. But on the other hand, because we have stayed with both formats, a hybrid format, it has also reached other people that we wouldn't normally reach.
For sure.
So it's complicated, and we're trying to work it out. You know, even though, and you said we're well on the other end of the throes of COVID, there's still some after effects that were very serious that we're going to have to deal with for a long time.
For sure. Oh, this is the big one. Number 8. This is the bomb. This is the one that you saw Shaq take a bite. Now, this one is called the Bomb Evolution. They tried to make it, I guess, more flavorful. This is historically terrible tasting. It doesn't smell great. I'll say that. So here we go.
Let's see. Yeah. Uh-oh, I think I took too big of a bite.
Oh my gosh, man. It's coming.
Yeah, it's creeping up.
It was slower than I thought it was going to be.
It's definitely creeping up. It's a slow burn.
Woo! This is gonna be the one that gets your nose running.
Yeah.
Woo! Well, talking about in the post-COVID world, your wife, Reverend Nikita McCalister, has had quite a career in her own right. She's held many positions within the denomination here in Rhode Island, also here in Michigan. But I know that you guys have supported each other, and you have served together and separately over the years of your marriage. And it's just fascinating to me. And I wonder, what have been the blessings and struggles of sharing the same profession as your spouse?
Whew.
You feeling that one? I might do some water.
Oh, all righty.
That is legit.
Yeah, they got me on that one. I better get it together. Can't take too long answering this one on.
Uh-oh.
Well, excuse me. Did water help better?
No.
I should have some bread or something.
I thought we had it. Are you out of? You can have this milk if you need it. I haven't drank it. I don't think anything's gonna help. I'm just powering through it. I'm feeling it. It's rough.
What was the question again?
You and Reverend Nikita, having served together and separately, what have been the blessings and the struggles sharing the same profession with your spouse?
So the blessings is I've watched her flourish and grow, and this is something that we've talked about even when we were dating. We knew because we acknowledged our calls at the same time. We were licensed, ordained together, we went to seminary together. We knew there would be a possibility to pastor separately, or even together, or do some different things, plant a church together, whatever. And so I've always supported her. And to your point, as you said, it's the same profession, but it's two separate calls.
Right.
And so I know it's hard for some people to see it like that, but it's, for example, so it's like you and your wife,
Right.
You both have jobs and you work separately, even
Right.
though it's the same profession. it's still the same kind of thing. But I know that some people, look at, oh, we have to be together all the time, and this and that and the other. And people have said those kinds of things to us.
Right.
But because we have that already settled,
Mm-hmm.
and we know that we're fulfilling God's call, it's been a blessing. Sometimes it's a challenge scheduling wise, in terms of, because right now she's the president of our denomination.
Right.
And she's also a denominational leader locally, regionally, across the country. So, and then I have my schedule with the church schedule and the kids' schedule. Now they're both in high school with all the sports stuff. But again, because we have talked about this over the years and make adjustments as needed, it's been a challenge, but it's still been a blessing for us. It's still not wearing off, man.
This is not fun. This is the one I was waiting for, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's legit. My lips is the worst part.
I thought Shaq was just playing like usual.
Nope. It's legit.
But that is hot.
And we've got 2 more to go.
Thanks, Minister James. Yeah. Thank you.
But that's that's historically, if you can get past that one, you can take anything. So,
all right, let's do it. 2 more.
Saliva still throwing.
2 more sets. 2 more sets.
Here we go. This is Sicilian Scorpion.
Oh no.
By Queen Majesty.
Take a smaller bite this
I'm going to
time.
say, I think Pastor's going to take a smaller bite with this one.
I think the key is to chew it in the front of your mouth, the tiny pieces, before it gets in the back of your throat. I think that's what the key is.
That's how I've been going right into it, and so
Yeah.
it's all burned. You mentioned your 2 wonderful children, and of all the achievements and titles that you and Reverend Nikita have acquired over your lifetime, I'm sure many of them fall short to those titles of mom and dad. So you have 2 great kids, Jaden and Azriel, and Azriel is just starting her high school journey, and Jaden is completing his and wrapping his up. So I wonder, what are you looking forward to this year for your kids, and how have they shaped your ministry over the years?
So, how they have shaped my ministry over the years is they've really taught me how to stay on top of their generation in terms of knowing what meets their needs. They're always telling me how corny I am, and why does everybody else think I'm so cool and things like that, and they keep me grounded. So I'm grateful for that, and we've always shared with them how to advocate for yourself and speak up for yourself, and we've always talked to them just like people. And so, but now that they're older, they're putting their training into practice. Sometimes it's kind of
Right,
kind of challenging, like
for sure.
But it's great watching them develop and grow. Like you said, as we're just starting her high school journey and watching her blossom and grow and do the things she's doing. And then Jaden is transitioning into adulthood and trying to help him navigate what that looks like and what that means. And
For sure.
looking forward to the senior year. Everybody that I know who's had a senior has told me how it was for their child. And just watching him grow into manhood has been wonderful as well. And then we took our final trip while they're both minors this summer, and just to make sure that we had that time, because we know that as they get older and start transitioning to their own lives apart from us, it's going to be harder. But it's just definitely been a blessing learning how to train up these individuals, these people. Sometimes it's really hard to differentiate my memory from when they were babies. It seems so quick.
Right.
You'll see. Your children
Oh,
are
I
small
know.
now, but it's going to be like, boop.
Right. Oh yeah. I know. Eli's only 8, and I'm still like, what happened? How fast? Sammy's 6 months today,
Oh, wow.
and that was a fast 6 months. I'll tell you that. Well, as we move to our last one, it is the Hot Ones tradition. As you can see, this sauce is called the Last Dab Experience. It is tradition to put one last dab on the wing. You don't have to if you don't want to, but if you want the full experience, that's what we do.
little dab.
A little dab will do ya.
Do your hand is what it is. Come on. I'm not doing any more than that. A little dab, buddy.
All
That's
right.
all you get from me.
Here we go, Pastor. Last wing. I put too much on.
Of course you did.
That taste is awful.
Yeah, I saw when you dabbing on there. I'm like, what is he doing? It's not pancakes, bro.
Go big or go home, right? That's all I have to say. Well, Pastor, you have done it. 10 vegan wings up, 10 vegan wings down. My nose is starting to run for people. But that leaves just one final question. And as you mentioned earlier, our audience may not have known, but you also do voiceover work and performance work in addition to your social work at all, your pastoring, all the other things you do. You are a very talented voice artist and performer. So now that you've conquered the wings of death, can you give us, with your mouth on fire, your most professional and powerful voice reading of this here, right to your camera?
I've set my mouth on fire for your enjoyment. Now I want to set your heart on fire for Jesus. Join us on Sundays at 10:45 at Covenant Baptist Church, West Bloomfield, to share the word and sing praise to our God. And be sure to stay tuned to our YouTube channel to see even more hot content. Until next time, signing off, Pastor Jabulani McCalister.
Woo! All right. See, look at that. A pro. Y'all need to call his agent if you need that work. Well, we did it, Pastor.
Yes, indeed.
How does it feel?
My mouth is still on fire, and I can feel, some rumblings, a little down in the body.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about what's happening 20 minutes from now, but we'll see. But we did it. All right. Thank you, Pastor.
Ooh, you're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Woo. Oh, man.
Muy caliente. Very hot.
Both of our stomachs are making sounds
Yeah.
that are not good. All right. Ooh, that's good.